Let's move on to the next criminal activity.
Moving on to court hearings. Gentlemen, the freak-off case of the century has begun. Have you guys been keeping up with this?
Bro.
Well, you was a part of it, right?
I might have been.
Hey, yo.
Delete that.
Keep that in. You relax. Like, you know what's crazy? Like, before Cassie spoke, I would have been all about them jokes.
Okay.
But, bro, when she actually says it, that's actually kind of disgusting. I'm not going to lie.
Wait, you heard her say it?
Well, I've been keeping up with the court trials. So what's been going on Twitter is they've been doing, like, the play-by-play. So whenever the attorney asked something, she would answer, and then it kind of go back and forth. So
and the drawings too.
And the drawings, right? So apparently, Diddy is a cuck. He lets just escorts.
Here's the thing. I don't think he's a cuck. And
no. Listen to this though. The escort that he paid to pee in Cassie's mouth, right? He stated that Diddy was in a corner watching with like a bandana over his face and something covering him, but he obviously could tell that's Sean Combs.
Yeah.
Bro, that's cuck behavior, first of all. And then the second thing is, she said that after the escort finished, he would make her rub his semen on his nipples.
Wait, what?
No, time out.
What wait.
So that's deadass. So
the escort's semen.
So all right, here's a breakdown
on Diddy's nipples.
Diddy's nipples.
So here's a breakdown because I actually went deep into this. I went deep.
While his kids are in court, he brought the kids.
The kids were walked out traffic. They got walked out.
And he has daughters too.
Yes.
That's so
they walked
crazy.
them out when they got graphic like that.
Yeah.
So essentially, the way that they laid it out was that he would get an escort. He would have Cassie sit across from the escort, and then he would sit across from Cassie, and then he would have Cassie watch the escort and then describe what the escort was doing while they all masturbated at the same time. After that, then they would progress to the more graphic shit.
So it was like
after Cassie would then sleep with the escort, she would take the condom off of him and then rub his semen on Diddy's chest. Crazy shit.
And mind you,
crazy shit.
Diddy is there giving commentary. He's like, use more baby oil. It's not enough. The diddler is freaky.
Yeah. You know what the craziest part about all of this is? His lawyer's not denying any of it.
Yeah.
His lawyer is actually like, listen, Your Honor, my client is a drug addict. He's a domestic abuser. He does all of the shit you guys are talking about, and he's a little sexually deviant. But he is not a sex trafficker. That's what these are. He just doesn't want the federal charges.
Bro, that is true.
That's all they're looking for.
But that's the only angle he could take. Because he already paid Cassie to not drop the book. So, like, kind of when you settle, it's kind of admitting to guilt.
Exactly. No. You got to be careful.
Well, not admitting to guilt, but it's like common knowledge that if you settle out of court, you don't want to put the drop.
It doesn't look good.
Something in that book that... But, and then Cassie was saying today that she, like... Diddy would make her do the freak offs with her having like UTIs and all that stuff.
Ooh.
Okay.
So it was burning while she was doing it, and she couldn't say no, right?
Now they asked her how many freak offs in total she like could recall. She said there was too many to even count. That's how many. That's how many we're talking about. And she said that some of these would last for days. They would be drug fueled for days.
Bro, when I saw this guy had a 50-foot bed in his backyard with all white
that's
sheets.
That's fucking weird. It's weird.
He had a bed in his backyard. Like what?
Yeah, man.
No one thought that was a red flag.
Yo, that's crazy.
And the craziest thing about all of this is she's pregnant and her husband got to hear.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, that's fucking.
That's so crazy.
Insane.
You better have some good psychiatrists. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Do you guys think that Diddy's lawyers like angle is going to work? Their goal right now is to just get rid of the federal charges.
Yeah.
They don't care if you take them to like civil court and shit like that.
So everything that happened so far, they didn't say anything about the sex trafficking, right? Like sex trafficking.
Well, that's
what they're trying to prove.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to prove right now.
They don't have anything yet.
Well, no, the prosecution is laying that out. That's why they gave all of this evidence of the escorts and all of that. That's why they're trying to lay this out that he was trafficking people on top of that because of his association with the escorts and whatnot.
Question, didn't Diddy try to blow up Kid Cudi's car?
Yes.
And you know why?
Yes.
Because he was dating Cassie.
Yes.
Yeah, send that nigga to jail. Put him under the jail.
Blow up someone's car.
They brought this up, right?
They're gonna bring it up because you know, as soon as like trial goes in, they go more into that, so they keep calling in people,
More witnesses and stuff like that.
That's
but
crazy.
that's the only angle that could really take. Is like, hey, yeah, he's a freaky ass frog, but he's not a sex trafficker. And like Boosie even tried to defend him. He's like, it sounds to me like he's just a freaky dude, but you know what I'm saying?
I don't know all this. Now,
You know,
in order for them to establish a case of sex trafficking, they're gonna have to show that there's first of all some types of transactions happening between either the victims that are being trafficked and Sean and they probably could too because it was escorts. So they probably do have at least some type of paper trail leading back to
It was on Craigslist though, so yeah. Craigslist is like, yeah, he was getting prostitutes off of Craigslist.
They was getting like those type of like third.
Bro, they're crazy.
Well,
I was thinking
Just
like
because they're
Diddy
on
has
Craigslist,
like, you know what I'm saying, like
The
the
elites.
like elites.
He was on the
Not
Epstein list.
no fucking Craigslist not fucking Joe Smo who twerks in the fucking
but
local
think about
strip
it.
club.
Back
like,
in the day, that's probably where you got all your escorts on online.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now,
and then he didn't care. He was jerking it in the corner. It wasn't
like-
him getting the diseases.
how does your mind like get to that point though? Like you have to be like I mean Diddy's been famous for since the 90s, right?
Very long time.
Since the 90s. So we could just imagine like
30 plus years of just famous. Yeah.
like it's just
So I was actually talking to my girlfriend about this. I was like, how does it get to this point? And I laid out the hypothesis. It's like,
Okay.
once you get, I feel like rich and famous people, once they get so much vagina, they just get bored of it and
like
start
numb.
experimenting.
it's like numb, right?
Yeah. So, but is it true or false?
No,
I don't think that's how it works.
yeah, it's a dopamine, right?
They
Not
start
even that. You don't
experimenting.
just change. Your sexuality just doesn't change midway through your life. So I feel like
I don't know.
Wait.
I don't know.
Let me say this one thing though. Let me say that this might be like a hot take or something, but back in the day in the 90s, who did Diddy run with? The Bad Boys.
the bad boys. Okay.
Who did he run with? With Biggie, right?
Biggie and them.
So I heard. I don't know if it's I'm pretty sure this is true, but let me just say like allegedly, like their manager was like from the other side. Their manager was from the other side.
Okay.
And there is like a rumor
Okay.
that I don't want to be the one to say this, but that Biggie is like that.
He has
Have
a
y'all
couple
heard
of
that?
gay bars. He has a couple
Yeah,
of gay bars.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, when he said, "Oh, you look so good,"
I'll suck your daddy's dick.
Ooh.
That's a bar.
that's
And there was-
crazy.
There's another one where he was gonna shove a broom up a nigga's ass or some shit like that. Like he has a couple of like weird bars that
Like,
really go into.
and you gotta think about it. Like you're like he's around Diddy and the other gay dude. So like, I mean, I'm not trying to be the dude who's like, oh yeah, you gotta be like that, but like you gotta like those bars are crazy. Like
to put him out on a musically produced album is
and your man's and like your label owner or whatever Diddy was is a freak ball like that, and then your manager is a gay guy. I don't know.
I mean, he did offer to take 50 Cent shopping.
I
don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of weird.
And
Okay.
another hot take.
Yo,
Meek
no.
Mill definitely dabbled. I don't care what nobody say.
Cause
You
them
ain't gonna have me in the pool saying, "Oh, my legs hurt," and then niggas say, "You did your thing, daddy." Come on, bro.
Cause
Come
he
on,
looked
bro.
worn out, bro. He looked worn out in that water. They said like the comments said he's trying to cool off.
Nah, I don't know.
Nah, cause that is crazy. But what else about Meek? Yeah, cause why?
Meek got a lot of weird like videos. I ain't gonna lie.
Did you see that one video when him and Diddy was in the club and like he was rapping, right? And then he says he said get naked, or he says like some freaky shit in the song, and Diddy like turned around and started dancing like this.
I
You
did
seen
see
that, right? Yo, Diddy was like this, right? And as soon as Meek Mill said like, yeah, let's get naked, Diddy was like What else?
Telling you, man, freak
Now,
out.
because why was Meek Mill and Diddy wearing the same outfit too? You seen that? They were saying wearing the same outfit
When they were hugging the little person,
and they had a midget in the middle.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's weird. But yeah, Meek Mill needs to be investigated in these court trials.
Yo, the one thing too is
And
like,
don't think it's outlandish, because Kanye said he was sucking his cousin's dick. Don't think it's outlandish, and that's your man's. That's your
I
man's.
said nothing of Kanye in this entire conversation. You brought him up.
You
I
haven't
just wanna
brought up
point that
Kanye
out.
since he said that.
yo, I'm not
I
gonna
just
lie.
wanna point-
You haven't been jacking. Pause. You haven't been jacking Kanye since that. Pause.
Since that, you haven't brought him up.
Yo.
I'm here. He's a musical genius. He can say whatever he wants.
Kanye dropped the album and everything too, and you haven't even talked about it.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta back away for a little bit. Let's sit settle. If he makes another college dropout, we could talk again.
Nah, bro. That was your man's. And you stuck with him through thick and thin.
Oh shit.
Nah.
Man.
Now going back to this Diddy situation, something that they also outlined. So you guys remember the Cassie video where he beat her up when she was going to the elevator? Mm-hmm. So they also got testimony from the cop that investigated that. Apparently, when the cop, like after they reviewed the footage and they went to confront Sean in his hotel room, when he went to the door, apparently Diddy tried to bribe him and gave him a stack of cash to try to stay quiet. But he was like, "It's already on video. I can't really make this go away at this point." Right. Do you, in a situation like that, if you were placed into that cop's shoes and nobody would have ever seen that video, would you guys have ratted?
Damn, bro.
$1 million in a book bag. Boom. You never see this guy again.
Damn, bro.
Would y'all have ratted?
Yeah, that's $1 million, bro. Yeah, that's $1 million. Give me that.
So the cops stated that he didn't take the money because it was already on video. Is that how it?
The hotel had already reviewed the camera footage, but then the cop became aware that the hotel knew before he had confronted Diddy.
Right.
Now let's pretend that he didn't know ahead of time.
And they're offering $1 million.
$1 million.
So it really comes down to the type of cop you are.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because if you out there defending the peace, you're not gonna take that.
Okay.
You'll get more satisfaction from being the guy that caught Diddy while he's doing domestic violence, right?
That makes
But then
sense.
on the other side,
Okay.
if you type that just in it for the bread, you're gonna take the money. But at the same time, I feel like
Depends,
it really
your morals.
depends. Yeah, depends on your morals and what you really in it for. Because if you're a cop, honestly, you get called to domestic violence
Regularly.
calls. Yeah,
Regularly.
So it's just a fact that you're gonna become more numb to everything.
Yeah.
So to him, it could have been just another chick getting beat up.
Possibility.
Right.
Possibility. So do you guys think that if the cameras were off, and
I think he would have taken the bread.
He would have taken
Bro, you
it?
know how many people probably get paid off by cops?
It probably happens, it probably happens less because of police cams now. Body cams probably have slowed that down. But in the past, it probably happened all the time. Yeah. I believe that.
Yeah, all the time. Just people probably have cops on payroll.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That definitely happens. So I was actually watching a YouTube video from Channel 5 News on YouTube, and they actually did a deep dive. Did you guys know that police departments have gangs?
Yeah.
Inside of the police force?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you mean?
Actual gangs within the police force where they have all certain tattoos and stuff like that designate that they're a part of a gang inside of the police force, and their initiations are the same thing as regular gangs where it's you have to go kill somebody in order to get initiated.
Nah, what the fuck?
Yes.
What, in the U.S.?
Yes, in the U.S. That's happening here in the U.S. They did a deep dive investigation into that shit.
Well, is there a specific state?
They were doing specifically California, and they talked about some of the ones that were already outed in Cali. But apparently that's a big thing across the entire country.
Because think about it, bro. What if you're a Klansman and you just have 6 Klansmen cadets in the academy? 5 of them get accepted and pass, right? Mm-hmm. That's technically 5 people in the KKK that are cops that are just shooting.
Dead ass. Mm-hmm. and they like outline that a lot of these people that are these cops that are in these gangs are also like white supremacists. Like they have ties to white supremacy and shit like that. Like they've outlined that. And then the worst ones normally tend to be inside of the actual prisons themselves because the cops technically have to be like, they have to protect each other inside of prison because if not, it's you versus the prisoners at all times. And that shit does not work. So sometimes they'll have like brutal deaths to the match inside of prisons that are organized by the gangs, the police gangs inside of the prisons and shit like that.
Like a fight club?
Yeah, deadass. That's deadass what they be having.
Now, how would you stop that? Like, what would the steps need to be taken to disband all of that?
That's systematic. That's the way the system is set up.
The gangs?
The way that the system is set up is that cops are going to have to protect each other because they don't have... There's like a police union, but there's no actual like outside agency that would help them to control or keep under control their teammate. Like think of a teammate. If a teammate is going out of line, but it's not being discovered by, like, let's say, the referee, are you going to go out of your way to point it out to the ref? You're probably not. You're going to keep quiet because it's like, oh, shit, we're winning. We're going to keep fucking trying to win. So that's kind of the environment that those type of situations breed. So it becomes difficult, even for good cops, to sometimes step up and do the right thing.
So I have a question. So what's like the benefits of being in a gang? Because aren't you kind of already in a gang since you're a police officer? And you're already, like, looking at each other's backs?
I have no clue. I don't know what the mentality is.
Bro, there's strength in numbers, and you could definitely... One person trying to cover something up is way harder than 5 people with the same agenda trying to cover something up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So say it's like a group of like 7 officers and the leader. So it's like 8. So boom. Say they go out to Shikshini or whatever, like in the mountains, and they find like some moonshine. Like, you think those, like, since they're in a gang, they would get rid of the moonshine and not even speak about it? Like, it's like that?
Most likely, and then they would go sell it somewhere else.
Something like that, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, once I watched that, I was like, wait, we actively know that this is happening and haven't tried to change anything? Like, that to me was wild. And it's like, once a police department, at least when the public becomes aware of it, because sometimes the police department themselves know that it's happening, and they try to keep it internal to try to solve it on their own, but that shit never works. So once the public becomes, like, involved, that's when the police department will try to go, okay, well, we're going to put all of these people on administrative leave until we investigate this, blah, 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 blah. And then nothing normally comes out of it, unfortunately. And the gangs just continue. Like, shit is wild. Shit is wild.
And another question. You said they kill people. Like, they kill people, like, out of, like, not with the badge? Like, say...
No, like, with the badge. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Wait, so, like... But they kill someone because they're supposed to, or just
because that's part that could be part of their initiation.
Yeah, like their job, like a part of the job. Like
no, that's not part of their job. It's part of the initiation into the gang. So you know how, like, for certain gangs you get, like, jumped in. Right. That's like they're getting jumped in. You have to kill somebody.
Yeah, but I'm saying, do they kill someone because they're a criminal and they're doing something bad, or they're just killing like? Oh, okay.
That's one of those.
Yeah, I feel like it just depends. Yeah. Like, if they catch somebody, like, doing something crazy, it's probably like a field day for them.
Yeah.
Like, this is my chance.
That ass.
Damn.
Yo, that's insane, though.
Mm-hmm. So, going back to the cop in this situation, he did the right thing in this moment. Do you guys think that him doing the right thing in that moment was beneficial to Cassie because now she has to go through this entire situation with her family and everything?
So that video was, 2016? Didn't they withheld the actual footage from getting out to the public until
it didn't come out
recently?
until, like, the last couple of years.
Yeah. So it wasn't like somebody leaked that footage. So him not accepting the bribe was, something that he did off, like, morality, but it really didn't help Cassie because nobody really, like, once once that video got out of her getting like hit by the elevator, that's when she threatened to release the book, and that's when they settled out of court for 20 mil.
Exactly. It happened after the video came out.
In 24 hours. She originally wanted 30, and they settled at 20 million.
So that might have been like a little jab, like I'm not playing with you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like they threw that out, like trying to antagonize Diddy, like trying to give him the money, so he does give up the money. That's what you're saying?
So, well, I think she was gonna drop it just to drop it.
Okay.
But then Diddy heard about it, and he was like, nah, you can't do that. Because why?
So do you think that then Diddy tried to... Well, he settled the case itself, like...
So she didn't release the book, and then she got 20 mil off rip in 24 hours. Because mind you, in these 24 hours, he was selling his shares from Revolt TV. He was, he gave up Ciroc, right? And then what else he do? Was Sean John still a thing? Is that like...
Yeah, it might have been Sean
I think he still
John.
has his brain. He might still own that.
So he was selling stuff off to get this money to pay off Cassie.
Yeah.
To keep her quiet.
Yeah.
So I think it was just a matter of time. But yeah, man, like all these, like, imagine all the stuff he's done that hasn't even come out yet. Because what if Biggie was going to be like...
And he got
P. Diddy's
killed?
my gay lover.
Yo, but that's the thing.
And
Like,
then he got smoked.
he's involved with those murders.
Well, you know, another thing saying that, they were saying that Tupac was a little fruity too.
Really?
Tupac?
Yeah.
Like how?
Possibility.
Tupac was never a gangster.
Yeah,
he was a band, like a theater kid.
Yeah, he was a theater kid.
I'm not gonna lie. You want to know one thing about like this whole? I don't want to bring up this whole Kendrick and Drake conversation again.
Okay.
But Drake is actually like very alike to Tupac, because Tupac wasn't Tupac from the East Coast and then he went to the West.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's from the East Coast and then he started Jack in the West with Death Row and shit, like when he was starting rapping.
Okay.
And he was an actor before he was rapping as well.
Okay.
That's like connection. Like that's like Drake right there.
I'm
just saying.
That's a wild stretch.
I was out of stretch though, and he just said he wasn't really gangster. Like say Drake was an actor before he was rapping.
Okay.
And Drake jacked a whole nother like culture. Drake's from Canada.
Come up to in notoriety.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean,
I'm
everything
just saying
is just
that
a
little
persona.
Yeah, I'm just saying that little thing, but
Yeah, everything's a persona at the end of the day. Like,
Uh-huh.
6ix9ine played gangster, and then he ended up ratting on everybody.
oh
You know what I'm saying? True or false?
yeah.
Factual statement.
What else? There's more. Everything's a persona.
Well, like Gunna.
Gunna snitched, but he was like, hey man, it might be, it might not be. But it's leaning towards yes.
Okay.
So Gunna snitched. But at the same time, Gunna wasn't toting guns. He was making melodies.
Nah, that's facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just think it's just like
Now, which are the ones that are not personas? Which are the most 10 toes down? Who do you think?
Young
I would
Thug.
have to put like
Young Thug.
Young Thug is definitely in that.
Dirk
in
was
that
like
group.
that.
Dirk is in that. Vaughn is in.
I'll give it to Chris Brown because he's an R&B nigga, but he'll fight
He
somebody.
throws
he
some
don't
hands.
care.
He throws some hands.
You know who I think is not like that? Soulja Boy.
yeah, hell no.
No. Yeah, so
He's the one to pop the most shit, but I never seen him in a fight. But I do see him.
Imagine fighting.
But I do see him with a big ass popsicle. Remember in that? Bro,
Yeah.
that shit was like a foot
Yeah.
long.
I can remember that only.
Because bro, that's like, bro, you know the picture I'm talking about.
Cause why was he in the music video with that big ass lot and it had the different colors too?
It was
That
a
shit was
big-ass popsicle.
yo. You seen that
Bro,
one video of him
put that
on
shit
live when he was like rolling up a blunt and then he put the whole blunt in his mouth.
See that?
Yo, you didn't see that? He dead ass put the whole blunt in his mouth. I'm like, nah, I'm never like.
Yeah, man.
Who the fuck want to smoke with that dude?
Would you guys put? So do you guys?
Oh,
hear
Young
about
Boy
the-
and probably Kevin Gates too.
Kevin Gates, I would put that.
Yeah.
I would put him in there. Did you guys hear about like Tory Lanez getting stabbed up in the prison?
Yeah.
Are we gonna put him in that category of 10 toes real at this point?
I'm not gonna lie. When Tory Lanez was out, he was pressing people.
Yeah, he was pressing people.
I remember he pressed Travis Scott in his face, like in the green room.
So
Like,
he we can categorize him in the 10 toes down.
Nah, he with it.
Yeah.
You know who else with it? Cardi and Uzi.
Uzi
get
like crash
that.
out. I'm not gonna lie. But you think it's short man syndrome with Uzi?
Yeah.
No, I think he's just literally just not who he is.
And he's from Philly too, so
Yeah. So it doesn't help.
Yeah, man.
Nah, that is wild. That is wild. 50 Cent, I also put in that group.
Yeah, 50 Cent.
50 Cent was dead ass.
Nah, because imagine getting shot 9 times and just still trolling people
for the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life.
Make a whole song about it.
But the thing is, everything 50 says in some way or form is true.
It's a factual statement. He's right up there with, when it comes to telling the truth, he's right up there with Kanye.
Yeah.
I'll put him right in that same category.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Oh, shit.
Because he'll say it, and then it will actually happen, and then he'll be like, I told you, I didn't listen.
Dead ass facts. Dead ass facts.